The news and views expressed herein are the sole property of Kenosha Today. Certain portions of this program may be unsuitable for children, sensitive adults, small animals, and the general public. Viewer discretion is advised. All right, Scottie, here we go again.
Ramp it up, Elmo.
Play.
Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Uncle Scottie Barter along with my colleague, Elmo the Insane Schneider, and welcome to the November 14th edition of the Kenosha Today Saturday Morning Breakfast Club. We have escaped the bonds of the Barter Manor family room, and as you can clearly see, we are now on a mission to broadcast anywhere on this wonderful planet we call Earth.
That's right.
And we're coming to you above the high of the skylight of Kenosha with our pilot, Wrong Way Daryl, in charge. We've got the tank topped off. The only thing that's going to be topped off. Anyway, we are streaming live across the very cool and crisp cornfields of the Midwest. And to everyone around the world, we are brought to you this morning by our major sponsors, Barter's Financial Planning Services, along with a host of other very fine local businesses. We remain committed to the great city of Kenosha, and we will continue to broadcast live and local, bringing you the most up-to-date news, weather, sports, and entertainment. Of course, your call-in comments there, 262-597-3020. It's always something new and exciting these days, whether it be world politics, the pandemic.
New and exciting,
and we've got some local garbage that we want to cover this morning. I mean, we've referred to Do-Over Kenosha. We're going to get into this fire station bit. And if you want to... Oh,
Yep.
what does that mean? Time for dinner?
Yeah, it means I got an email.
And everybody can now sign up and join the thousands of our fans who have joined us on the Kenosha Today Nation and liked us on Facebook. Our phone number again, 262-597-3020. It is 39 degrees here in the Kenosha Today Nation this morning. For those in the stock market, it kind of took a dip back earlier in the week and came back to 29,400. So we were hovering on close to 30,000, which even 29 I thought was pretty good. Mm-hmm. So people, I don't know, Wall Street, I guess, is... I think one of the big things is the forecast of the vaccine. I think one of them, and we're going to get to that again. And so, Elmo, the Kenosha Today Saturday Morning Breakfast Club starts right now.
Right now.
Kind of sad news to report. I hate to start like this, but one of our boyhood heroes and legends of the Green Bay Packers, Paul Hornung, passed away yesterday at the age of 84. And he was for those who don't recall, he was the Heisman Trophy winner out of Notre Dame, 1956, and that was right before Vince Lombardi got to Green Bay, and Hornung was a quarterback at Notre Dame, for those who recall, and he says, quarterback, he's a better running back. He says, I got a better quarterback named Bart Starr. Who? Yeah, who's Bart Starr? And, we saw Paul Hornung down here some years ago. He was at the boathouse signing autographs, and he didn't look good, and those days, those helmets weren't made like they are now, and they had no concussion protocol. And he sued, what was it? He sued somebody, the main, Rydell, who made those helmets, and it caused him a bunch of dementia. And the same thing happened to Bart Starr and all the people that played in those eras. And my favorite Paul Hornung story was he was on ESPN being interviewed about negotiating with Lombardi. And Paul Hornung's comment was, Lombardi, I made more money playing at Notre Dame than I ever made playing for the Packers. So, anyway, the big news yesterday comes out: 20 million Americans could get the coronavirus vaccine even as soon as next month. 20 million, I think that's pretty good. And I don't like the name. Our name for it is Operation Warp Weed. I don't know, Warp Speed. What is it? say to you, Elmo? That's got no marketing class at all. Warp speed?
Warp speed is from Star Trek. Don't you know that?
Oh, that's why I was criticizing. I did not know that.
Yeah, that's faster than the speed of light. We're okay.
Oh, okay.
Go to warp 5 times faster than the speed of light. That's what the Enterprise went at. So
well, at 871, I'm slowing down. Well, anyway, that's good news because I got to take my glasses off here. If they can get a good batch of this to, especially the frontline health workers and the people that are highest at risk, I say fine. Let's do it. And I don't know if there's going to be a cost to it or if the government's going to.
No, they're saying they're going to give it up. It's going to be free.
Well, that's good.
Well, you'll pay for it through your taxes, but that's.
Well,
or your grandchildren will, since they're just printing money like.
Yeah.
You know, a bunch of counterfeiters out there. So.
Yeah, what's a trillion amongst friends? But I still think they need to get together, come to the middle, make it 2 trillion, and give people, this is my view, give people their unemployment. And if you want to give them a stimulus, you guys can work on the other stuff as you go down the road. But you got to do something. I think you got to do it before the end of the year. Don't do it in tax season, because what happened last spring when it was administered by the IRS, the Treasury Department, they shut down processing tax returns, and some of these people didn't get their refunds that were filed early March till September. And the IRS is as understaffed as it is, so if you're going to do something, do it now. Well,
look at the unemployment compensation here. There's still people waiting for money from back in March and April. So you know it's
now
they can't get that act together to save their lives.
Well, they still have, I think, about 60,000 people that filed late March and are still waiting for that. And
it's like 600,000 claims, but it could be the same person, because you got to climb every week.
But still, some of these haven't gotten their initial kickback.
Blonde lady,
she getting it?
She's there. Her a ton of money. So
well, it'll come eventually, because I had a client that got it, and it came in like 10, 12 different, $763. You got the federal for $600. And the extra 163, which was the minimum from the state of Wisconsin. But the federal money ran out at the end of July. If they ever come up with a stimulus, that's supposed to go retroactive back to August 1st, and it's supposed to go through the end of January. So I hope they come to their senses. Here's something that's troubling Elmo. They had the county board. They were always working out pretty good in these last few years. No controversy. And all of a sudden, they got a couple rabble rises over there, and now they had a meeting on Thursday to finally vote this bonding in for the capital improvement, which the number one thing was the cameras for the sheriff's department. Well, now 4 people didn't show up, and Aaron Decker, Mark Nordigan, I don't know him, Gabe Nudo, and Supervisor Zach Rodriguez, who abstained last week, was a no-show. You know what, folks? To these people, if you don't want to govern, get out.
Yeah, you don't want the job. Show up for your job.
Yeah, this is a job that you're getting paid for. They should dock you people. And especially, I don't know what kind of statement this makes, because the 18 that were there passed it, and the county has to move on. If you think you're showing somebody, I don't know what you're showing them, but not only that, the next rub was John O'Day. And I like John O'Day. I haven't talked to him.
A friend of mine. Yep.
Yeah, but he's the chairman. For some reason, they moved the citizens' comments to the end of the meeting. So, basically, the supervisor didn't get a chance to hear from the public on the things that they were voting for,
on, right.
Which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And he said, "Oh no, we want to hear you." Well, you had the veterans thing, and all the veterans came. They wanted to speak, and you know what? Maybe a supervisor would have changed. They voted for everything, but there could have been a situation where a supervisor changed his or her mind.
Maybe what they should do, and when people say, well, not everybody's got a computer, but why can't you just send them, if you want to speak out, why can't you send an email to everybody on the county board?
Yeah.
Before the meeting, it's.
Yeah, that's a possibility. In fact, you can do that.
Sure.
And some of it, I think, is grandstanding, and the people want to say, hey, look at me, and I'm this and I'm that, and my group wants to be heard. And they do televise those, or they no, they don't.
No, they don't. No, they took them out because
So you're grandstanding to nobody except for the Kenosha News. The meeting's on Thursday, and it makes the Saturday morning paper. I still don't understand that paper either.
I thought they were on Tuesday.
This one was a special meeting on a Thursday to vote on this bonding. So anyway, Now we're going to get to a subject that Elmo and I hold dear. Do over Kenosha. This has got to be the dumbest thing I've ever heard. The city is proposing $9 million to tear down the 60th Street fire station and completely rebuild it next to it. And what they did was only about 6 years ago, they spent $600,000 to put an addition onto that fire station to relocate the fire administration people, the chief. And so now they're thinking, well, we're going to move those folks back to the new city hall, which is at least 2 years out. But $9 million could go a long way. We've got potholes. Like I've said before, some of these are big enough that they got gift shops in the bottom and exit.
Well, the other thing is, how much are taxes going to go up? Here we are, we got the pandemic thing going, business is down, and you expect people to pay more in taxes for this stuff? Normally when that stuff happens to the average household, if they get a cut in income, they cut back on the other stuff.
That's right. And then,
what does the government do? No, they go out and they stick a gun in the ribs of the taxpayer and they take more money to make
actually,
it up.
it's a little bit further down and around on the other side. But, as long as we're on that, the school district, they lost down about 1,400 kids. And now, so instead of cutting staff or teachers, we're going to raise the taxes 9%, the levy.
Yep.
And so you got that levy going up, you got the city's levy going up, and the county, I think they stayed something within reason. But with all these people out of work, where do they think this is going to come from? This is the worst year to do that.
To do this, right.
262-597-3020. And we've recalled Do Over Kenosha. Let's go through some of the things. Let's go back to the Crack-A-Dome from 3 or 4 years with the velodrome.
Right.
And right on the curves there, they didn't put the rebar in like they should, so they had to tear all that out.
Well, the concrete wasn't thick enough either. That was the other problem. So
in fact, that's if you go past there, I go there on occasion. I have this place I frequently visit. On. Anyway, you can see it. There's the lines in there. It looks like it's cracking again. And then we had the garbage. What was it? The truck car wash.
Truck wash. Yeah.
They built this special truck wash,
and then
the trucks could get in.
They couldn't. It was too small to fit the trucks in. Lincoln Lagoon dredging, remember that?
Oh my God, that ended up another $300,000. I forget what the purpose of that was.
They're dredging the lagoon, and then they underestimated the amount they would have to dig out of there. So that's.
So that was that thing, and we had a couple other streets where we had to redo. So welcome to Do Over Kenosha, and the same thing with the harbor when they had to dredge that up. Why don't you do it right the first time? And I understand maybe the mouth of the harbor because of the sand keeps coming back.
Well, I guess there's always contingencies, but it just seems like there's too many problems here. Well, I know with the Crack-A-Dome, the contractor said this stuff is going to crack. It's not thick enough. They told him that. So, we don't care. Put it in anyways.
Yeah. And I think that Shelley Billingsley, I think she's still in charge down there. She was in way over her head, in my view. And you just can't keep making these kind of mistakes.
Well, I had heard something else on that. It was not all her fault.
That's true.
Yep.
And that person's not even with the city anymore.
Yep.
So, there was a struggle on who's running the show down there. So anyway, if you have a comment on that, and then our governor.
Well, it's 597-3020.
Our governor, Tony the Tyrant Evers. He's not a comment. It's this way. We kind of clean it up, but. Anyway, he wants to shut down the city or the state again. He doesn't have the authority to, right?
What he made, and that's what they're doing. It's recommended what you do. So that's we recommend this. Stay at home. Don't do anything.
Yeah.
We're canceling Thanksgiving. We're going to cancel Christmas. Santa Claus is banned.
Bars, restaurants, small businesses, families, and farmers. Why is it always the bars and restaurants? I thought the Tavern League, they lobbied against, was it the mass or was it the limit?
Yeah, the limit, the 25%.
And so now what's going to come up this week on Monday, the city council is voting to, I think, require masks and to limit how many people you can have in a restaurant.
In the bar. So.
I mean, why don't you just, like I said, don't put a gun to their head. Take it, put it down around the back, and pull the trigger, because that's what they're doing. These people, they're suffered enough. Some of them haven't recovered fully from the shutdown that ended last May. But you can't keep doing it to these people.
We have a caller, Uncle Scottie.
All right, let's go on. Let's do it.
Morning,
Good morning,
Kenosha
guys.
tonight.
How you doing?
Hey, Dennis.
What you guys are describing is government as usual.
That's right.
What Kenosha needs to do is hire the guy who built the Jerusalem governmental headquarters by saving money using an old building that already existed instead of trying to build a multi-billion-dollar or whatever kind of building they were trying to build. Saved a lot of money by just refurbishing an existing building, and that, and Trump was bragging about, the biggest thing he bragged about there was saving money, which is what you guys need to be bragging about.
We spend money. We drink money, Dennis.
That's right.
We don't.
And it's unbelievable. And you were talking about Horning before, sports and the coronavirus a little bit. The Bears have kind of combined both of those situations. It seems like the Bear defensive backs are social distancing from the wide receivers that they're assigned to.
Yeah, they're doing an excellent job of that. Don't worry about anybody getting coronavirus from that group. The Bears just have looked, as long as you brought it up, Dennis, and you are a devoted Bear fan, obviously, that their offense has looked sick the last couple of weeks.
Well, a lot of teams go into a prevent defense, but the Bears go into a prevent offense.
Well, when your quarterback starts taking a knee at the coin flip, it's not going to work out real well.
Well, I heard this morning Nagy's going to quit calling the plays.
Yeah, he's handing it over to the
We'll see.
offensive coordinator, who should have been doing it anyway.
Well, I think that goes back to when Mike McCarthy was in Green Bay. He was calling the plays, and he was no genius. I'd sit there and, he's going to run between the tackles on 3rd and 2. Everybody knew that was coming. And who's the guy that was on the, you tell me about it, was a football player, was an announcer. It was Jamie Lofton. That he knew exactly by the formation exactly what play they were
Tony Romo does the same thing.
Tony Romo, yeah.
Yeah, Lofton was on the radio.
Romo's a great analyst. He's great.
Yep, Lofton would do the same thing. But he'd just call what the next play was going to be. You could tell right away. So
Dennis, out in your neighborhood.
Well, Scott, you got the big game coming up a week after your birthday. The Bears and the Packers are playing on the 30th.
That's right.
All right, as long as you brought that up, the party is Saturday the 22nd for a Packer game, a noon game.
I thought you moved it.
I was going to, but I don't think that everybody's going to wait till January 3rd. So I thought, well, wear a mask, and I'm getting pizza, and they have a special for next week's Sunday noon game. And we can still get together at the 3rd, but I don't think a lot of restaurants are going to be around on January 3rd. So if you got time...
A lot of restaurants all around this country are going to be closing.
So if you got time next Sunday at noon or whenever, stop in for a beverage.
At the old Amen Corner?
At Amen Corner, yeah. We were talking this week.
By the way, Amen Corner is very active this weekend.
It sure is, yep.
Tiger, he made the cut, apparently. He's in 4th place, but he's -4, but the guys in front of him, there's like 4 guys.
He's 4 back. He's like tied for 27th
yeah,
or something.
but there's about 4 or 5 guys that are -9, but at least they're playing, and it's different looking at Augusta without the azaleas and things like that. Who's it?
I'm really glad that
me.
The Masters didn't bow to pressure and change its name. I remember they were trying to force them to try to change their name, but they didn't do that because it's got nothing to do with what people are trying to say.
They were going to try to change the name of the Masters tournament?
Yep, because of the term master.
It was a master golf, right?
I know, but they were trying to make it into a connotation of slavery. That's what people were trying to do.
We have gone too far out, and we had a case this week where our good friend Rocco Lomacchio was trying to be cute, and he posted on something that was taken way out of context, and on social media, and geez, I thought the world was going to end. Yeah, he shouldn't have done it. And as long as I'm on that topic, should elected officials be held to a higher standard? And not have to do that, or should they,
They're normally held to a lower standard, but
what do you think, Dennis?
they have no standards.
No
How about that?
standards.
Well, as long as we have a media that is totally in bed with whoever their candidate of choice is, we're not going to get the real deal. We need information that's true about every candidate out there, whether it's good or bad. Just give us the truth, and don't repress stuff because you want a certain person to win. And I'm not talking about any particular race. I'm talking about any race in general.
Right.
Don't favor a candidate. Give us the real deal on both candidates, and don't pick a winner. But now the press, the media, they're totally picking winners all over the place.
Years ago, the Kenosha News was historic for doing that. They wouldn't report the news, they would manufacture the news. So they would leave out a key word or phrase on somebody's quote, and then it encouraged more people to read and follow up a follow-up story, and then right into the voice of the people. And that all changed, I'd say at least 10 years ago. But if you go back 20 years ago.
You're right, Scott, and I'm really worried. All you got to do is, if you don't follow history, you're damned to repeat it. Look at Rome. Greed and corruption is what ruined that country from the inside out. We're starting to have that same type of cancer here.
That's right.
The greed and corruption among politicians and the media and drug companies and everything else, that's leading us down a terrible path. It really
Bread
is.
and circuses.
Hey, you know what I was going to tell Rock Lamacchia is if you want to have bad comedy, all you got to do is tune in here every Saturday
That's
morning.
right.
You don't have to go and post some
Bad
nonsense.
jokes.
Bad
We
jokes.
have another caller, Scott.
Hang on, Dennis.
Good morning. You're on Kenosha today.
Good morning, gentlemen.
How are you, Dunda?
Hey, what's up, Gunga?
Dennis, the greatest consultant of knowledge possibly in the entire state of Wisconsin.
Not if you lived here, Gunga.
Gunga, have you been drinking early again this morning?
Frankly, I have. I was also determining what our next Bears coordinator might possibly be.
Or what coordinator?
Some
You'll need a drink after the first play is called.
Offensive coordinator. Yeah, there you go. Why don't you start pulling?
I nominate my good friend Numbnuts Patel,
Yes.
attorney at law, and new Bear coordinator
Cool.
and masturbator in honor of the Masters.
See, now, if you were an
God.
elected official, we'd be thrown off the air for that. Anyway, moving right along.
Pardon me?
Hey, it was nice to see you this week. I didn't realize you were on vacation, but it was nice to see you. And hey, I guess the governor's basically shutting down, or he's requiring masks of everybody. And Lizzie the Lightfoot, from the mayor of Chicago, actually they extended this stay at home all the way up to Cook County.
We've got another call, Scott.
Hey,
You won't believe who this is.
hang on, boys.
Good morning, Shirley.
Good morning.
Hey, morning, babe.
Hi, everybody. And Ganga, how's my sweetheart? How are you, Ganga?
Good morning, hot stuff. Are you wearing those stilettos I bought you the other week?
I certainly am.
Well, thank you.
Why don't you?
Thank
I am
you.
visualizing with my pants on.
Oh, God.
Why don't you two just get a room and don't call us at later in the day?
I don't know, Scott. You got a real weather babe here now.
That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
We'll get to that.
I got a little warmer outfit on today because it's pretty cold out there.
We'll be the
Should be
judge.
a little more revealing, Shirley. A little more
Well,
revealing.
when she does well.
Yeah, right.
Here, Mallrat. Here.
How's your camel? How's the camel today?
Well, he's wearing a furry prophylactic this morning to keep his genitals warm.
Every time you call us, you take our show that we start kind of low and we take, and you take us right down to the
Yeah,
gutter.
we set the bar low
Yeah,
and it
we
goes
keep it down
downhill
from
from
the-
there.
yeah,
That's, yeah.
Scott, I just want to tell you what a good show you had last week.
Oh,
It was really good.
we want to apologize. We forgot "I Am the Flag," and we'll play it
We're
today.
going to play it at the
I
end of the
know.
show
I felt bad. I thought, where is it?
today. Yep.
Well, we were right up, and we don't even have to cut it off at 11, and we just totally forgot about it. But remind us.
Oh. Could you play it today?
We are going to, yes.
Yep.
I mean, Veterans Day was Wednesday, and they didn't get.
Will you play it today, please?
Yes.
Yes, we're going
intend
to. Yep.
At the end of the show, or
Yeah.
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 Oh, Shirley, I love it when you beg.
Hey, Gunga.
Yes.
What do you think of Paul? I think he's got a lot of good political commentary.
Paul's been a very naughty boy.
Paul from Racine.
Yeah, I know. He's been a very naughty boy. They're, the health queen up there, Daddy K. Bowersox, is closing all the schools up there because the people won't do what I tell them to.
She doesn't have the authority. Remember, she tried, and so did.
She just closed the schools from Thanksgiving till the end of the year.
She can do that without.
She's closing the buildings. That's it. She's declaring the buildings uninhabitable.
Well, you know what? You take her and her counterpart down here in Kenosha, Jen Phosphate or whatever her name is. They haven't met a business that they don't want to close. And you know what? You want to close the schools? Then don't pay the teachers either. They're going to get paid, I'm sure.
Yep.
And you can start closing up, save the buildings, and don't raise taxes. I mean, Racine has a $50 million referendum a year ago?
Yes, if you really want to see some action,
Yes.
close all the McDonald's. Put a
Oh,
in
yeah.
front of their drive-in nationwide.
oh
You are
boy.
you are exactly right, Gunga. There'd be riots all over.
Now,
Oh yes, the big fat women wouldn't be able to get their McMuffins in the morning. They would crap themselves thinking about their
Yeah, we're riding.
Now-
We're riding now.
This will come up a little bit for you guys, but just so you know, if you're from McDonald's, we're not picking on you.
No.
We're playing our own disclaimer. If you happen to be fat in the state of Wisconsin,
just
you're not
so
alone.
you know, I don't give a damn.
Yeah, you're from Illinois.
Yep.
Here, see, you guys see this now?
Yeah, they can see it now.
Is that you and Gunga, Scott, or who is that?
I'm with the plaid shirt,
Yeah.
and Gunga's the one in the dress with his her
Oh
back to us.
boy.
And Shirley's to the left with the glasses, I think.
All right.
No.
Yeah, well, I remember those
Yeah.
days.
Shirley, how's that pot doing in your garage? Is it dealing with the cold weather?
Oh yes, I have heated lamps out there.
Oh, yeah.
Grow
All
lights,
right.
grow lights, and heated lamps. It's
Oh, boy.
very well.
She's a
Doing
pro.
good.
Do you need Gunga's Camel Clyde to come over and kind of sprinkle some fertilizer on that?
Yeah, that wouldn't hurt anything.
Yep.
Gunga,
Gunga's got the heated prophylactic on it, so
That's right.
For just such an emergency.
all right, Shirley. Yeah, there you go. You got some weather for us because we're gonna bring up your picture of the weather girl. And
Oh,
getting that.
Yeah.
Just hang on. Let me build up the actor. Hang
A
on.
brief shower.
Wait a minute.
Wait.
I got to build up the actor, Shirley.
Okay. You
Kenosha
said
Today's radar weather is sponsored by Kappa Web Design, which
Yes,
is a
Dennis?
locally owned web
Yes.
design and development business here in Kenosha, specializing in website design.
Give me a pre-moan.
Just a second. It's on its way.
We're losing control of things here, Scott.
Who actually designed this?
Give me one more.
Just for more information, you can visit capowebdesign.com. All right, now.
they're great. They're a great company, Scott. They're wonderful.
They all got COVID now, too. So
Yeah.
I love Capo Web Design. They're great.
How
hi to Nancy. I gotta say hi to Nancy. I love Nancy.
I'll let her know.
okay.
Okay.
go ahead.
All right, go ahead, Shirley. Give us the weather. We're going to search your picture.
Okay. A brief shower or two in the afternoon. It's 50 to 43 degrees. Tomorrow, it's going to be windy again. Oh my gosh. A little morning rain and 46 to 31 degrees.
Oh yeah, baby. Look at that. Oh,
That is perfect. That is perfect nipple hardening weather.
oh.
Monday,
Dennis.
Monday turning sunny and not as cool, 52 to 29. On Tuesday, mostly sunny, 44 to 26. And Wednesday,
Shirley, I like it when you start to moan also.
yeah, mostly cloudy on Wednesday at 47 to 30.
Oh, the tickler.
Yeah, my picture's up again, right?
Oh, Shirley, you're doing something right.
Yeah.
Can you boys,
Oh, Dennis, you're doing it for me.
Oh, Gunga, you know it.
can you guys
God, would you
clean
like
up?
to get in on the moaning?
You guys are too much, I'm telling you.
You think
You
you
make
two
me
guys,
laugh anyhow. Yeah.
Wait, I would think that you two guys at this point in your life would be a little more mature and not have to go off, some crazed sex kid with hormones raging when he was 16 years old.
Well,
Good lecture, huh, Elmo?
you know.
Wait till you get my age.
There you go.
Things really, really heat up then.
Oh,
Yes.
don't encourage these guys.
Beauty is more than skin deep.
Right.
Mr. Barty, you don't realize I'm sitting in a puddle of Jell-O chocolate pudding.
Oh.
Well, that'll cure your
Gunga.
hemorrhoids.
You get that from Bill Cosby?
Just make
That is
sure,
correct.
Gunga. Just make sure that you wipe when you get up, Gunga, because some people might not mistake it for Jell-O.
Oh, God.
We started with some very good comments, and then as soon as Gunga joined, and then
You
Shirley,
can only go up.
I mean, what's happening? The fire?
That's a
Well,
dumpster
politics
fire.
is a dirty subject. I mean,
Oh, it is.
Hey,
Really.
Gunga, you going to come up today or tomorrow?
Gunga,
Oh, yes. I did not hear you.
Scott asked you if you're going to come up tomorrow.
Oh, I'm up right now.
Okay. Well, you can't ask a simple yes or no question to you guys anymore.
My schedule is unknowing. Every day is an interest of only myself.
So it's all about you, right?
That's correct.
Hey,
Absolutely.
hey,
It should
Gunga.
be all about you,
Wait a
Gunga.
minute, folks. Wait a minute.
Thank you, Shirley.
Hey, Gunga.
Uh-huh.
Hey, wait a minute. Gunga, I heard your. There you go. I heard your fat boy governor.
I'm a selfish lover. Yes, Scott, I am.
What?
He is.
And
He said he's a selfish lover and he has a mirror over his bed.
did you take the trapeze down?
That was quite. Pardon?
Did you take the trapeze down?
That was only for your benefit.
Oh.
Clyde broke the trapeze. That's the problem. So,
Well, you can see in the background. This is our latest Kenosha Today. This is the tourist attraction here. Those cars have been there for 3 months, and most of them are still there.
Oh, it is so sad. I can't even look at it.
You know, Scott, I think we need Paul to chime in and bring back some sanity.
yeah.
Hey,
Get rid of the cars.
Dennis, how's the pandemic doing in your neck of the woods? I heard you're out in that area is really bad.
It's starting to come up. A lot of teachers and schools are they're totally hard up for subs. Some teachers are getting it. They're preparing plans of possibly even going virtual after Thanksgiving. They're preparing for possibilities of doing that.
Hey, okay, that's a good report on the pandemic in Waterford. But Gunga, how's the VD thing going down in your neighborhood.
What was that, Mr. Barger?
Dennis gave us a report on the pandemic in Waterford and in his area. My question to you is, how's the VD pandemic going in your neighborhood?
Well, it's going quite well since you are no longer dating in Illinois.
Oh.
Yeah, boy. From beyond the arc. All met 3 points.
I don't think it was ever a pandemic, Scott. I think that's been normalcy down there.
That's right.
For years.
Hey, Gunga, you look on the bright side, at least they have a cure for VD in Illinois, and we don't have a vaccine here in Dennis's neighborhood yet, so.
Yes, and we no longer have a cure for stupid either.
What do you say?
But you can numb it. You can numb it for a while with a 2x4.
Or some of my pot.
Oh, Shirley! Oh.
Hey, you guys want to hear this week's top 10?
Love to.
That's only a one love to.
Only one love to.
All right. This is written in her home office at Barter Manor. This week's top 10 thought-provoking category. The top 10 reasons the Supreme Court will not hear your case.
Oh.
Number 10. They find out your personalized license plates were made by your father. Number 9. You can recite your Miranda rights in 4 different languages. Number 8. You thought Diana Ross was the Chief Justice of the Supremes. Number 7. Your family portrait was drawn by a courtroom artist. Number 6. You forgot the secret Cowabunga Buffalo Bob handshake. Number 5. They found out your trolley's driver's license was expired. Number 4. You thought Judge Wapner was really Judge Judy in drag. Number 3. You were once ordered to be sequestered by Nancy, or with Nancy Pelosi. Number 2. Michael Cohen tried fixing the case for $130,000. And here's the number 1 reason the Supreme Court will not hear your case. You show up driving a white Bronco, wearing a fake beard, and demand to see Judge Ito.
Oh.
You can do without the moaning and groaning.
The glove don't
If the
fit,
case
you must
doesn't
acquit.
fit, you must acquit.
Yeah.
Can't you see President Trump going in the Supreme Court to plead his case, and he brings those gloves in there and uses that if don't fit, you must acquit.
He's got the big rubber glove. That's
Oh, God.
And Evers has 2 of them. You guys have anything more to lend to this nonsensical conversation?
Yeah, I do have a serious comment, Scott.
Okay.
I can't think of the gentleman's first name. He's African American. He used to be on ESPN. His last name is Whitfield. I forget. It might be Jason, or I can't think of his. He came up with a great point. I was watching yesterday, and he was on giving some commentary. He said, I'm an African American man, and he said, I never thought that the first quality that I identified me as an individual human being was the color of my skin. He said, I want to be identified by my intelligence, by my character, by my religious beliefs. He said, the color of my skin is way down on the list. He goes, I'm proud to be African American, but he goes, I don't put that out there as the first thing I say. He goes, I'm an individual, and I'd rather be identified by those talents that I have. And he brought up the fact that a lot of other people are trying to identify him rather than even the African American race itself. He said, like Joe Biden, you're not black if you don't vote for me.
That's right.
And then I guess Chelsea Handler made a comment, something about being African American or black.
That's her ex-boyfriend.
And then he brought up the Chinese and Asian population, for example. He said they don't even talk about race. They tell their kids, we want you to be smarter than anybody else. We want you to do well in school. Be identified by that.
All right. Here's how I identify, and then I'm going to take another call. I get identified as a chubby, fat, white boy that ain't too
I'm going to go. I'm making stew. I got to go stir my stew.
You're getting stewed, Shirley?
All right, Shirley, you can hang up.
What's your husband's name, Shirley?
Gary.
What? Gary.
Well, what are you doing with Stu?
We got to take a call.
I'll never tell.
Is it Paul, you think?
I'll never tell. Yeah.
Shirley, thanks, Shirley. We'll talk to you again.
Okay, have a good day. Bye, Ganga. Goodbye,
Love you,
everybody.
Shirley.
Bye-bye now.
Love you all. Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Good morning. You're on Kenosha
Ganga,
today.
I love you too.
Okay.
Thank you, Dennis.
What's
Mr.
this?
Barger,
Yes.
I believe we found our man of substance.
Jeez, don't-
And he's
We
hitting them
we
all.
have a new caller. You gotta let him
Hang
talk.
on, boys. Let this new caller talk. Who's the caller?
Good morning and happy Saturday.
Hi, Paul.
Paul, I hope you got something to lend better than these two yahoos.
Well, I was disappointed Shirley, dropped off because I was going to ask her how that pick for governor is working out for her.
As you usually do, Paul.
Hey, Paul.
You have to be relentless.
You
You
know,
have to be relentless when people make really bad mistakes. Let them know.
hey, Paul. Here's
Yep.
here's a good one for you. I heard this week because of all of the arrests that went on throughout the state. Here's Governor Beaver's new slogan: "You come to Wisconsin on vacation, and you leave to Illinois on probation." That's his new call to arms.
That's a good one.
It's a crazy world out there, man. I thought it was interesting. I've tried to understand a little bit of this, this spike in cases or, what's going on, which is, it appears to be real. I'm not going to deny that. This virus is real. I'm not going to deny that either. But, I'm looking at things now totally from a conspiracy theory. I really am.
Okay.
Because I do think there's a lot of that is true now. You wouldn't, 5 years ago, you wouldn't have asked, I wouldn't have told you that. But look, this all of a sudden we have a spike in cases, right? This is right, and so what are they going to do? They're going to, I think what they'll try to do is hang this on the election, right? That people went out and voted. This was a quote unquote super spreader event. And because of it, look what happened. As a way of ushering in more mail-in voting, which, as we know, is very fraudulent in nature. Also think that it's ironic that this happens right before the holidays, right?
Right.
And, you can use the argument that, well, it's because we're going into winter, more people are indoors. But why is it spiking in Texas of all places, right? I mean, their climate is such that most people are still, outdoors and whatnot. I think it's because they want to push everybody to online shopping. If they shut everything down and nobody can go to retail stores, that's going to kill retail. I think that's part of this plan here.
Well, you're right. And not only retail stores that are forecast that already closed this year. You wait till after the Christmas season. You're going to see a whole bunch of other ones close. And I don't know if that's because of the pandemic or the economy. They don't have money.
Well, their object is to destroy the private sector. That's it. Get rid of all private business, and then everybody must be slaves to the government. I emphasize slaves because I was,
No.
Well, no, I was chastised because I used that in a advertisement I wrote for a certain eating establishment who was trying to sell Thanksgiving dinners. But the line was, "Why slave over the stove on Thanksgiving when you can buy your Thanksgiving dinner from this place?" And I got a lot of grief because the word "slave" was in
You're
there.
kidding me, Elmo.
Nope, not at all.
I can believe this because
Unbelievable.
things have just gotten so far political to this right or left, whatever, politically correct. You can't say anything.
Nope.
Well, here's the thing, though, you guys. One thing that can't be lost in all this is all of this limits people's freedoms, right? You start eliminating stores, to Elmo's point, and eliminating restaurants, right? You don't have now the freedom to go shopping at Kohl's or, some of these other department stores because they're not going to be there, or you're going to be limited. You're going to be scared to death to go in there for fear of catching this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So where are we all going to go? We're all going to go to Amazon, right? And eventually it's going to be all online retailing. And guess what? Then they have more control over you. They
That's
don't
right.
like your politics. Well, guess what? We're going to, with a mouse click, we're going to shut you off. You're not going to be able to buy anything. I mean, now you're talking again about digital currency. You know, why have paper money? You know, it's dirty, it's filthy, it's a super spreader, right?
I shudder
So go to a digital currency.
I shudder to see where we're going to be in 10 years. Pennies, Sears, all the big ones, they went, and I think Kohl's might be in the bubble. All the major ones, Target included, and we're going to be left with Walmart and a bunch of fat women and Amazon. I guess I should.
Well, and not only that, Scott, but it gets worse than that. They will then have the ability to tell you what you can buy and what you can't buy. You know,
Paul, you remember
it's all about.
Remember the great Bernie Sanders line? He says, "This is very inefficient. Why do we need 27 different kinds of deodorant? We should only have, if you want a choice, you should only have 3. That would be much more efficient."
Well, Elmo, at the end of the debate that he had with Ted Cruz about health care, Ted Cruz asked him, after Bernie Sanders said the government is the most corrupt, inefficient thing around, Ted Cruz said to Bernie Sanders, "Well then, Bernie, let me ask you a question. Why would I want the most inefficient, corrupt thing around to run my health care?"
Yep.
There you go.
If they eliminate all my decision making, you know, what happens to my decisions, paper or plastic, or boxers or briefs? What happens to me? I'm done.
Well,
Especially with boxers and briefs.
Yes, Commando.
I think Scott takes the third choice, which I don't want to think about, but
Swing low. Anyway.
and they'll pick the winners and losers. I mean, you know, that's the other thing that drives me nuts about this is all of a sudden now you start limiting people's choices because businesses go out of business, and you know they force us all into online retailing. Then they have the control. They can tell you what you can buy. And to your point, I forget who said it about the deodorant. It's like, you know, then they're going to be telling you, you know, well, you know, and companies as well. They're going to tell them, you know, you want to sell online. We are monitoring what you're saying and how you're acting. And guess what? If you don't behave in a certain way, you're not going to be able to sell online. This is what this is about. This is about control. And
it's all about control.
Freedom.
Yep.
And people need to understand this. And you know what? If you want, you know, there are probably certain people who, if they heard that, would say, you know, that's a conspiracy, right? You know, that's crazy talk. Fine. I'll wear that with a badge. I'll wear that as a badge of honor because 5 years ago, I wouldn't have believed all this stuff either. But with the way we're totally reliant on the internet, I mean, it just makes sense. And so many of the people who they thought were crazy 5 years ago are you know, they're finding out they're right. The other thing I want to share is, you know, if you don't think there's vote fraud, right? You know, you analyze it a little bit carefully. The way they're doing it is, you know, vote flipping. There is a clip from 2018 in the election for the governor of Kentucky, where on CNN, they actually show the race. They show the number of ballots being cast. You know, the Democrat had like 662,000 and change. The Republican had like 661 and change. And they updated it, and there was actually less votes for the Republican and more votes in an equal amount for the Democrat. Mm-hmm. So if you don't think these machines are rigged and the algorithms are rigged to change votes, all you got to do is look at that clip. You know,
Paul, I'm a database programmer. It's so easy to do that. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
So.
All right, fellas, great discussion. Let's leave it there, and we'll see how this all works out. If whatever they prove, and
I have one question.
Okay.
What frozen pizza will be available in the next year?
Right.
But you can only frozen pizza. What?
Hey, Scott, one last thing.
Okay.
Scott, one last thing.
All right.
People need to get away from traditional news sources and go to non-traditional news sources, and your eyes will be opened up.
Newsmax.com. That's it.
Google Joe Skousen. Go to Joe Skousen and look
at
what he says.
And talk
And I have one
conservative
last
talk
thing.
radio.
Can I have
Listen
one
to
last thing? This is the last thing.
Okay.
It's like Ernie Ford said in 16 Tons. I sold my soul to the company store.
There you go. All right, gentlemen, we got to run along here.
Right.
Thank you very much. Have a great
Paul,
weekend.
Paul, I did hear you talking to O'Donnell the other day. You already hung up.
Take it easy, guys.
All right.
See you, Dennis.
Later, Dennis.
Great show.
All right.
Thanks for the forum.
Hey, Gunga.
Bye-bye.
Are you still there?
Bye, Gunga.
Is he gone?
Yep, he's gone.
All right. Well, we want to wrap this up a little bit because I do want to play on the flag. But here's a couple of last items that I want to talk about is County Clerk Elmo. Couples should schedule virtual marriage license applications well in advance. So you can't even go down to get a marriage license at the clerk. You have to do this online.
Well, that's what my daughter had to do. They were lucky. They applied right before. They didn't even know they were going to change the deadline. So just by luck, they applied one day before they put this like 60-day thing in there and stuff like that.
Well,
So-
if they plan on taking choices away,
So
we won't
she
even
got
have a
in.
choice to who we want to get married to.
She's happily married now, and
Yeah, but going to all this conspiracy theory, if they take away your choices of everything else, like soap and boxers and briefs and paper and plastic.
everyone will be eating confinement loaf.
But
That's all
Are-
we're
are-
going to do. The
are they-
government will distribute confinement loaf.
are they going to take
everybody.
away your opportunity?
Since they want to be everybody to be confined.
All right. Are they going to also take away your choice to who you want to get married? Say, you don't have any choices. You just pick this person.
They do that in India and
Well,
stuff
that's
like
true.
this, prearranged marriages.
That's
That was
right.
it. So,
Well,
actually,
take my name off the list.
it would have worked out fairly well to me. My parents had a prearranged marriage for me when I was 5 years old, and she ended up being a brilliant doctor and stuff like that. I'd be rich and not sitting here next to you if I would have married her. But
You've been divorced already.
and she was gorgeous too. So what the hell? Okay.
Community property state. Well, you got to be careful that looks isn't everything. What is it? There's an old saying about that. I forget it. But
Oh, she had tons of brains too. She was
tons of brains. That's what you said.
She was a doctor. She went to Harvard Medical School. My God.
Wow. Bend over and cough, Elmo. It's not going to hurt a bit. One of the last couple things that we're going to play on the flag is it time to take all this plywood down? I mean,
I went through downtown on the way home. It's there, or on the way home, the way here. So
Okay.
Well,
Well, that's good.
It's coming down.
Is
It's
it?
coming down. Downtown is starting to return to normal.
the fear is still going to be when they come up with this Jacob Blake decision,
Yep,
one
yep.
way or another, that there could be, if the thing doesn't go the way some people want it to go. Well, but it's time to, it's been 3 months, take it down and let's move on. And, they were talking about moving things to the, in the uptown area. This article said it has become a homeless encampment and conversations interrupting traffic. It seems like all the homeless people have migrated to
there,
downtown
yeah.
buildings. And don't forget the bullets whizzing past your head in 22nd Avenue. I mean, that's
We said years ago, should have put, if they put the kiosks with the life preservers down in the lake, they
That's
should have had
right.
the kiosks with the bulletproof vest on 22nd Avenue. So,
there you go. Also this week we lost an icon. Alex Trebek passed away, and I guess now the big thing is who's going to replace him. And his shows are taped and they will be online or
Through Christmas,
Through
they
Christmas,
said.
and then
Yeah.
they'll have to figure out something else. But at any
K,
rate,
you know what they want K-Dog's boy to do it. I shouldn't call him a boy. Now I'm a racist.
Okay,
oh my
okay.
God.
What's this now?
Who's the guy that does the news? Who's the black guy that's on there?
I saw his name in the paper this morning, and
He's a good bass player, though. I got
yeah,
nothing
I
against
forgot
him.
his name. We'll come back with that.
But no.
And again, we're going to finish off with "I Am the Flag." We forgot to play it last week, and to dedicate it to all you veterans who have served and made the sacrifice. And that is going to wrap it up for the November 14th edition of the Kenosha Today Saturday Morning Breakfast Club. We want to thank our sponsors, Barter's Financial Planning Services, Kenosha's for Open Honest Government, Charlie V's Kids for Cancer Treatment Foundation, and we have been streaming to you live this morning from the Barter Manor Studio, located on the corner of Happy and What Went Wrong. And so for Elmo, myself, until we meet again, the next time, we thank you for the privilege of your time and have a very safe and pleasant weekend.
I am the flag of the United States of America. I was born on July 4th, 1776, and the Declaration of Independence is my birth certificate. The bloodlines of the world run through my veins, for I offer freedom to the oppressed. I stand for many things to many people. I am the nation. I have fought in every battle of every war for more than 200 years. Gettysburg, Anzio, Normandy, Guam, Iwo Jima, Korea, Saigon, Grenada, Beirut, Panama, in the Persian Gulf, and a score of places long forgotten by all those who were there with me. I was there. I led my soldiers, Marines, sailors, and airmen. I followed them. I watched over them, for they loved me. When freedom called, I answered and stayed until it was over. I left my heroic dead in Flanders fields, in the oceans of the Pacific and Atlantic, in the steaming jungles of Vietnam, in the waters of the Persian Gulf, the sands of Desert Storm, and Iraqi freedom. I was conceived in freedom, and God willing, in freedom I will spend the rest of my days. May I possess always the integrity, the courage, and the strength to keep myself unshackled, to remain the citadel of freedom and the beacon of strength to the rest of the world. This is my goal, my hope, and my prayer. I have been soiled, burned, torn, and trampled on in the streets of countries I have helped set free. And sadly, even by my own country, and by those whom I have given the freedom to express their rights, it hurts. But I shall overcome because I am strong. I have slipped the bonds of earth, and from my vantage point on the moon, I stand watch over the uncharted new frontiers of space. I have been a silent witness to all of America's finest hours. But my finest hour comes when I am torn into strips to be used as bandages for my wounded comrades in the field of battle. When I fly half-staff to honor my soldiers and lie in the trembling arms of a grieving mother at the gravesite of her fallen son. I am proud, I am free, and I am brave. My name is Old Glory. Long may I wave, dear God, long